Hey there, guys. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, does she really like me, or is she just being nice? It's a question that has kept many of us guessing, right? And trust me, you're not alone. Decoding someone's feelings can feel like trying to crack a secret code. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be that hard. You see, there are small but powerful clues hidden in her actions, her words, and even the way she carries herself around you. Today, we're going to uncover those clues together. I'll break it down for you, step by step, with real-life examples to help you understand exactly what to look for. Whether it's her body language, the way she texts, or how she reacts when you mention other women, we're covering it all. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive right in. By the end of this, you'll know how to read the signs and, who knows, you might even find the confidence to take the next step. Let's get started. Part 1. Her body language. Alright, let's start with something that doesn't require any fancy detective work. Her body language. You know, actions often speak louder than words, and in this case, they can scream, "I'm interested," or quietly whisper, "I'm just being polite." So, here's the deal. When someone likes you, their body naturally leans toward you, literally. Let's say you're chatting with her. Does she lean in while you speak? Maybe she tilts her head slightly or mirrors your movements without even realizing it. These little things aren't just random, they're her subconscious way of showing she's engaged and comfortable around you. But it's not just about the positives. Pay attention to what's missing, too. For example, if she's keeping her distance, crossing her arms, or avoiding eye contact, it might mean she's just being nice or maybe even wants to keep things purely friendly. Here's a quick tip for you. Next time you're hanging out, observe her gestures and posture. Are her arms relaxed, and is her stance open and inviting? Or does she seem closed off, like she's putting up an invisible barrier? Remember, body language doesn't lie, and it's often the easiest way to pick up on how someone feels. No words required. So, take a moment to notice the small, unspoken cues. They're often the most telling. Part 2. Her effort in communication. Okay, let's move on to something we've all faced at some point, texting. Ever feel like you're the only one starting conversations? Like, you're always the one texting first, and she's just there. Don't worry, we've all been there. But here's the thing, when someone likes you, they usually find the way to stay in touch, even in the smallest ways. Let's break it down. If she's into you, she might send a simple, "How's your day?" or share a funny meme that reminded her of you. It doesn't have to be grand, but it's her way of showing you're on her mind. On the flip side, if you're the one constantly initiating, and her replies feel more polite than engaged, that could mean she's just being nice. Here's a quick scenario. Imagine you stop texting her for a day or two. Does she reach out? Even something casual like, "Hey, haven't heard from you, everything okay?" can be a sign she's genuinely interested. But if silence from your side is met with, well, more silence, it might be time to rethink the dynamic. Remember, effort is a two-way street. When someone cares, they'll find reasons to keep the conversation alive. So, the next time you feel like you're carrying all the weight, pause for a moment. Let her show you how invested she is. You might be surprised, or you might find the clarity you've been looking for. Part 3. Her response to plans. Now, let's talk about something we've all experienced, making plans. Picture this, you've set up a dinner date or planned a casual coffee meetup. An hour before, you get a text that says, "Oh no, something came up. I can't make it." Okay, fair enough, life happens, right? But what if this keeps happening? Here's the key, it's not just about canceling plans, it's about how she handles it afterward. If she cancels but immediately follows up with something like, "I'm so sorry. Can we do Thursday instead?" That's a sign she genuinely cares and values your time. But if the cancellations pile up and she never suggests a reschedule, well, that's a different story. Think about it this way, when someone is really interested in you, they'll make an effort to see you, even if their schedule is packed. They'll feel bad about missing out and find ways to make it up to you. But repeated last-minute cancellations without a follow-up, that could mean she's either unsure about her feelings or just trying to let you down gently. Here's a quick tip. After a cancellation, don't immediately jump in with a new plan. Wait to see if she takes the initiative to suggest a time that works for her. If she does, great. If not, it might be time to shift your focus to someone who values your time as much as you do. Plans aren't just about spending time together, they're about showing effort. And when someone is interested, that effort speaks volumes. Part 4. Her comfort with physical touch. Alright, let's dive into something a bit more subtle but just as telling, physical touch. Now, don't worry, we're not talking about anything big or dramatic here. It's the little things that matter. You see, how comfortable someone is with physical touch can reveal a lot about how they feel about you. Think about it. Does she lightly touch your arm when she's laughing at your jokes? Maybe she gives you a playful nudge or casually brushes against you when walking side by side. These are small but meaningful gestures that often signal she's comfortable and might be interested in more than just friendship. On the flip side, if she pulls away when you touch her shoulder or seems uneasy with any kind of closeness, she might be drawing the line. And that's okay. Everyone has their boundaries, but it's important to notice how she reacts to those casual moments of contact. Here's a quick way to test this. Start with something simple, a light tap on the shoulder or a high five. If she responds positively or even initiates touch herself, it's a good sign she feels at ease around you. But if she seems stiff or avoids touch entirely, she might just be friendly. Remember, physical touch isn't just about the act itself, it's about the comfort and connection behind it. So, pay attention to her reactions and let them guide your next steps. Sometimes, the smallest touch can speak volumes. Part 5. How she treats you compared to others. Now, let's focus on something that might not be obvious at first but speaks volumes, how she treats you compared to everyone else. Here's the question to ask yourself, does she act differently around you than she does with other guys? Think about it. When you're together, does she laugh harder at your jokes, even the not-so-funny ones? Does she go out of her way to compliment you or offer to help when you need it? These are signs she's giving you special attention, which often means she sees you as more than just a friend. But let's not forget the flip side. If she's just as friendly, engaging, and helpful with everyone else, it might just be her personality. For example, maybe she's the kind of person who's naturally warm and bubbly with everyone, making it harder to tell if her behavior toward you is unique. Here's a little tip to figure it out. Watch how she interacts with others in group settings. If you notice that her tone, her energy, or the way she focuses on you stands out from how she treats the rest, that's a good sign. But if her behavior is consistent with everyone, she might just be nice and nothing more. Ultimately, it's not about isolating one moment or action, it's about recognizing patterns. If her attention toward you feels special and deliberate, there's a strong chance she sees you differently. So, pay attention to how she balances her kindness with others versus her focus on you. It's often the clearest clue. Part 6. What others say about her. Alright, here's a secret weapon you might not have considered. What are other people saying about her behavior around you? Sometimes, the best clues don't come from her directly but from the people around you. Think about it. Have your mutual friends mentioned that she talks about you a lot? Maybe they've noticed the way her face lights up when you enter the room or how she seems extra curious about your plans. These little comments from others can be a goldmine of insight because, let's face it, people often reveal their true feelings when they think no one's looking or listening. Here's an example. If a friend casually mentions, she's always asking how you're doing, or she seemed really excited to hear you were coming to the party, that's a strong sign she's interested. On the other hand, if no one has picked up on anything unique in her behavior, she might not see you in a romantic light. Now, I'm not saying you should start interrogating your friends like a detective. Keep it casual. A simple, "Hey, what do you think about how she acts around me?" can go a long way. People who know both of you might notice things you've overlooked, and their observations can either confirm your instincts or give you clarity. At the end of the day, sometimes the people around us see the connections we're too close to notice. So, don't be afraid to trust their input. It might just give you the nudge you need to figure out where you stand. Part 7. Her reaction to other women. Now, let's talk about a sign that's easy to miss but incredibly telling: how she reacts when other women are in the picture. Jealousy, even when subtle, can reveal feelings that words or actions alone might not. Here's what to look for. When you casually mention another woman, does her mood shift? Maybe she gets a little quieter, changes the subject, or even asks pointed questions like, "Oh, who's she?" These reactions might hint at a mix of curiosity and concern, classic signs she sees you as more than a friend. On the other hand, if she seems completely indifferent or genuinely happy for you, it could mean she's just being friendly and doesn't see you in a romantic way. For example, if you mention going to lunch with a coworker and she simply replies with, "That's nice. Did you have fun?" Without missing a beat, she's likely just being supportive. But here's the thing: don't test her intentionally by bringing up other women on purpose. It can come across as manipulative and could damage any trust or connection you've built. Instead, let these situations arise naturally and observe her reactions. Jealousy, when it does appear, usually comes from a place of caring. It's the fear of losing something or someone valuable. So, if you notice her acting a little protective or competitive when other women are mentioned, it might just mean you're more important to her than she's letting on. The key is balance. Watch for subtle shifts in her tone or energy, but don't rely on this sign alone. Combine it with everything else we've talked about, and you'll start to see the bigger picture. Part 8. Putting it all together. Alright, now that we've covered all the signs, let's bring it all together. Here's the thing: no single action or behavior will give you the complete answer. It's about the overall pattern, how she interacts with you consistently across different situations. Think back to what we've discussed. Is her body language open and inviting? Does she make an effort to text or keep plans with you? How does she react to your touch, and does she treat you differently from others? Have your friends noticed her showing extra interest, or has she been a little protective when you mentioned other women? If you've noticed a mix of these positive signs, there's a strong chance she's interested. But here's an important reminder: don't overanalyze every little detail. People have off days, and not every gesture is a definitive clue. Instead, focus on the bigger picture. And now, the most crucial step: take action. If you feel like she might like you, don't sit on it forever. Ask her out. Keep it casual and genuine. Something like, "Hey, I really enjoy spending time with you. Want to grab coffee or dinner sometime?" Simple, straightforward, and honest. The worst that can happen: you'll get clarity, and you can move forward without second guessing. The best: you might just start something amazing. Either way, you're taking control of your story instead of staying stuck in the guessing game. So, there you have it, guys. The signs, the patterns, and the confidence to take the next step. Remember, life is too short to keep wondering. Sometimes, you just have to go for it. Good luck, and I'm rooting for you. Part 9. Final thoughts and advice. So, here we are at the end of this journey, figuring out if she's just being nice or actually interested. By now, you've got a toolkit of signs to look for: her body language, her effort in communication, how she treats you compared to others, and even subtle reactions like her response to other women. But let's take a moment to talk about something even more important: your own confidence. At the end of the day, reading the signs is helpful, but the real game changer is how you choose to act. If you've noticed the signs stacking up, don't hesitate to take that leap. Whether it's asking her out or just letting her know how you feel, the clarity that comes from being honest is worth it. And here's a little reminder: not every story ends the way we hope, and that's okay. If it turns out she's just being nice, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It simply means she wasn't the right person, and now you've freed yourself to find someone who is. So here's your next step. Stop second guessing. Trust what you've observed, trust your instincts, and trust that taking action is always better than staying stuck in uncertainty. Whether it's a new relationship or just clarity for yourself, you've got this. And finally, don't forget to share what you've learned. Maybe someone else out there is going through the same confusion, and your insight could help them, too. So, hit that like button, share this advice, and as always, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how things work out for you. Until next time, take care and go make your move.